things people talk about a desire to be successful, all of the elements.
Good morning, everybody. Dr. Rick Wallace dropping in on you. I hope that you guys are getting your week off to a great start. This is a very important day for me, and it has been for a long time. It is a moment, a day in the week in which I, first of all, detoxify from any of the negativity that attached itself to me during the week, the previous week. It is a day that I set forth my plan and expectations for the coming week. It is a day that I speak, visualize, and establish my goals and expectations as I move forward in accomplishing the things that I desire to do in my life. And so it's important to me, and I hope it's important to you. Some people consider starting their week on Monday. I start mine Sunday, and I walk it out and carry it out accordingly. And so importantly, how you start something will impact how you finish it. I refuse to start my days or my weeks as a victim. I refuse to start my days and my weeks under the weight of anything negative. What I do understand experientially, observationally, I understand that things are going to happen that I don't like. I understand that not everything is going to go as planned. I understand that there is just a certain level of opposition present anytime you're choosing to do something exceptional. Anytime you choose to step beyond the boundaries of average and mediocrity, you are going to meet challenges that take you out of your comfort zone, that make you feel a little uneasy. And that's something you simply prepare for with an understanding that you're built for the battle, that you're built for what's coming, that you're built for what you are going to go through. It's just simply a part of the process. We would do so well in simply understanding that life isn't about ease. It's not about the circumvention of problems and struggles and heartaches. It's about the conquering of your obstacles. It's about overcoming. It's about persevering. It's about seeing things through to the end. It's about finishing what you start. Hey, Brian. Hey, Tavish, everybody. It's about finishing what you start. I can't tell you anything of any true intrinsic value that I have obtained, accomplished, or experienced in my life that didn't come with challenge, that didn't come with a certain level of fear and trepidation about what the outcome would be. In what I believe my greatest blessing, my wife, it didn't come without the possibility that she wasn't going to see things the way I want and not want to be where I was. Yes, I kind of knew she was, feeling me, but maybe not at the level that I was feeling her. I had to be willing to step out, put myself on the line, present myself in a way that makes me vulnerable and say, hey, I want you to be my partner for life. And I think the way that I told her was, hey, you want to be my baby? And, she laughs about that now, but, she thought it was cute. And, she said, yes, a year later, we're married. The rest is history. But it took being willing to get hit. Any business that I've started, any book that I write, the books I write could easily just get trashed and seen as crap. Anytime I give a public message or speech, I could get booed. I mean, there's no guarantee in this life except that when you consistently put in work, you consistently press towards the mark, you consistently commit yourself person you can be, you consistently commit yourself to making other people's lives better, you will achieve, you will accomplish. I didn't say it was going to be easy. I can guarantee you it won't. But that's the thing, you've got to keep pressing on. We're going to continue on today with something we kicked off on yesterday, and that's going to be the principle by principle daily principles. I'm going to give you one at a time. We're going to start each morning out with something positive. I want you to start your day out with something positive. I want you to start your day out understanding that it is likely at some point in your day you are going to experience something you don't want to experience. That's life. But if you start your day out understanding who you are, whose you are, whose design you are, what that design entails, then you understand that there's nothing I can face in this life that I'm not prepared to overcome. I am not a victim. I am a conqueror. I am a victor. I am a winner. It doesn't mean that every time I step out, I hit a home run. It means that I stay in the game until I win. As long as I'm breathing, I'm still in the fight. That is something that you have to master. Now, I'm going to get off into what today's first principle of success and accomplishment and performance is. Just a second, give me a second, but I want to remind you guys that the 21st book, I Am, is now being distributed internationally on a number of different channels. Each week, the number of distributors is going to expand. We start out with just Amazon, and then we go to Kobo Books, then we go to Sony, then we go to Barnes & Noble, and we go on and on and on. And it's always an exciting thing for me because no matter what, the idea that you took something that's that progressive, that you have to stick with that long and push through a process. Finishing a book and publishing a book is not an easy task, especially when you have high standards for what you're publishing. And so that's that. Hold on a second. That's baby. Don't want to miss that. All right, so that's what I want you to understand. So the book is there for those of you who are looking to take some steps and move to the next level. The way that you can work with me is going to be in the description box as well. Work with me directly. I have a concept I call Visionetics. I offer that through the Visionetics Institute, and it encompasses a number of different disciplines that include neuro-linguistic programming, neuro-associative conditioning, neuro-remapping, psycho-cybernetics, psychology, which includes cognitive behavioral therapy. It also includes quantum physics, and it is a conglomerate of these disciplines being used to help my clients get to the next level in relationships, business, finance, social impact, and on and on. You tell me what your goals are. We map out a personal plan. We get it done. From anywhere from 12 weeks to a year, I offer these packages. But so if you want to get with me, do that. Now, let's talk about something. And I'm not going to be long here, but I want you to pay very close attention to what I'm saying, because there's some power in what I'm going to leave you with. And I want you to take this. I want you to think about it, but I also want you to share it with other people. I think that that's something we've got to do. We've got to be willing to see something that moves us and be willing to give it to somebody else. That's how we change the world. We change the world by infecting one person and then hoping they infect others. And that's what I try to be every day, is infectious. I try to infect people with joy. I try to infect people with hope. I try to infect people with positive anticipation. I try to infect them with a passion to win. And I know if I impact them or affect them, their lives will change. But if I infect them, I will change the lives of people I never meet and never speak to. And that's so important. And I want you to take the same mindset. Touch someone's life. Take something that empowers you and pass it on. Okay, I have to tell you, one of the saddest realities that I experience in my line of work is the person who is an adult that is still operating off a story that someone told them that when they were a child. You will never amount to anything. You will never be able to achieve anything of any significance. All you will ever be is. You can't do that because. And they are literally living a life based on a story that someone told them when they were a child. That someone more than likely living through their own limiting beliefs and not seeing the power within to do exceptional and extraordinary things. Now check this out. That's not even the saddest part. The saddest part is these people have now begun to tell that same story to themselves. They are repeating it in their self-talk, in their conversations about themselves, their expectations for their lives, what they desire to do and how they believe they will fare, how they see themselves in this world is now being reflected no longer in someone else's opinion of them, but now it's being reflected in their own self-talk. You've got to be very careful. I once heard, I believe Jim Quick, who is a mentalist, unbelievable things that he does with his brain and shows you how you can do it as well. And he said that the brain is the most powerful supercomputer on the planet, and your self-talk is the program that it will run. Do you understand me? The power of what you say about yourself. Now for those of you who are spiritual or religious, you know, there's scripture that says you shall declare a thing and it shall be established for you. You shall, and now see that that declaration, that self-declaration, that's what the book I Am is all about, self-declaration. But that self-declaration is not positive or negative. It's neutral in its presentation. And what do I mean by that? I mean that it doesn't just apply to the positive things you say about yourself. It applies to anything you say about yourself. So when you speak negative, you produce negative. You shall declare a thing and it shall be established. What are you speaking? What story are you telling yourself that is governing your performance in life? What story are you telling yourself that is guiding the direction in which you're traveling and the things that you are doing? What story are you telling yourself that's locking you in to mediocrity and being average when you were designed for greatness? You've got to identify the story and you've got to start telling yourself a new story. You have the ability to write the narrative of your life. You have the ability to speak and declare things and then take actions on your declarations and nurture the seeds you plant with your speech and manifest it into reality. That's faith in a process. I see it. And if I see it in my mind, that's God's evidence that it's possible, because if I am in direct relationship with a God that I believe to be benevolent, good, then I would understand that he would not design me to be able to conceive something in my mind and not have it, or not be able to create it. Why? That's torture. That's nothing good about desiring something you can never have. It's torture. So the very thought that I can conceive something, the very idea or notion that I can conceive something, it's God's evidence to me that it's possible. It is the beginning of creation and manifestation. It is the point at which I begin to do something new. God doesn't do a new thing arbitrarily. God does a new thing through you, by you, for you. It doesn't happen outside of you. It happens because of you. You've got to put the work in. You've got to do the reading. You got to do the believing. You got to do the speaking. You got to talk as is. It says those who call things that were not as though they were. See, you got to start calling some things that simply are not now as though they were. You got to understand that time is a created and manifested concept that does not exist in all spiritual realms. There's a point in place where time doesn't exist. You start speaking it, and you're speaking the future now, and you're living the future now, but you've got to understand that's the beginning of manifestation that brings things to the third dimensional realm. You've got to understand that what you're experiencing in three-dimensional reality is only a part of what has taken place, and you have the power at your disposal to control it, and it begins with your thoughts. Your thoughts have physicality, and your words are an expression of those thoughts. That's what was meant when in the book of Matthew, chapter 12, it says, out of the abundance of the heart, the center of the soul, the subconscious, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. What does the mouth speaks? What the heart is thinking. The heart is, in biblical terms, cardia in Greek, leb in Hebrew, is the center of the soul, what we now call the subconscious. We now know that the subconscious controls 96% of your behavior. 96% of your behavior is a subconscious production. It's not what you think consciously and through willpower. That's why willpower only gets you so far. It's what you develop in your subconscious that drives your predominant behavior. Out of the abundance of the heart. When you start speaking negative self-talk, it's because deep down inside you bought a story somebody told you a long time ago, and you never took the time to rewrite the narrative. I want to challenge you to rewrite the narrative. Change the story you're telling yourself daily. On that note, I'm going to get out of here. Like I said, I would love to work with some of you guys on a one-on-one basis. If not, definitely check out some of the resources we got. Now we're going to have a bunch of free resources in the way of articles. We're going to have some videos like the one that you're watching now, that all you got to do is show up. But if you want to get up close and personal, you want to put a timetable on it, you want to put a plan in play, I would love to work with you. Reach out to me. The information is in the description box. You can email me directly, and we can set something up and we can get started. But whatever you do, you've got to start making the changes. You got to be in your mind the change that you desire to see in yourself before you ever manifest it in three-dimensional reality. And on that note, I'm going to get out of here. As I always say, I live my life every day on full. The reason I do that is when I die, I want to die on E. And people say, what does that down E mean? It means that I want to take every bit of my potential and put it to use. I don't want to take anything to the grave with me. One of the people I admire the most that I had a chance to meet in my lifetime, had a chance to study immensely, is Dr. Miles Monroe. And one thing that Dr. Monroe said, and I've heard Les Brown quoted as well, but one thing he said a long time ago is that the cemetery is the wealthiest place on the planet. And what he was saying is that you go to the cemetery, and each grave, there are unfulfilled visions, unfulfilled dreams, books not written, sermons not preached, speeches not given, businesses not started, marriages not initiated, relationships not created, and on and on and on. People had potential and never activated or actualized it. That can't be me. I refuse to let that be me. I tell people all the time, the beginning of my life was, the first half of my life was about me, what I could accrue, what I could accomplish, what I could have. And the second half is about my legacy. It's about building something that will outlive me, building something that will speak of me long after I'm gone. And I'm challenging you to do the same thing. Live life on full. On that note, I'm out of here. You guys have an unbelievable day.
From a conceptual perspective, people talk about it as success. All of the elements